Hi everyone. I'm just going to give you a quick little flip through of something I've been working on. I recently joined the Wizarding Artist Society put on by Tangi Baxter at Art Journaling the Magic, and I wasn't really quite sure what to expect, but it was so much fun. She has a kind of a theme for the month, and this month was crabs and coral, and you get all kinds of beautiful handouts. She's got a whole backstory that she's put together of a wizarding school, a couple of students who want to use non-magical art supplies. So there's all kinds of handouts and really pretty. And then we have a live stream Zoom art meeting at the end of the month. And I think in June, James Burke is supposed to show up. So if you're a James Burke fan, you might want to join. But we practiced, she has a printout, and then we had to practice just drawing in pen a crab, which was pretty challenging. But just all kinds of fun. The story about getting the society started, and of course the letter from the headmaster giving approval to start the Wizarding Artist Society. And also in the class we did color alchemy, so we were kind of using some of the color themes that Tangi was thinking about, maybe like the coral color, some of the blues and greens. So that was really fun, just kind of playing with your watercolor and seeing how they're mixing. Then we spent time just painting coral and then coming up with our own magical crab. And so I came up with this one. I called it an anemone crab because it was like he has a little sea anemone on top of his head. Then someone pointed out that he looks like H.R. Pufnstuf. And I'm pretty old, so if you remember H.R. Pufnstuf, that was exactly right. Do you remember that? I used to be in the Jack Wilde fan club. Remember him? And he had the little flute Freddy. And I think it was so cute. And he would go, "Hurry, Pufnstuf! Witchy Poo's got Freddy! We've got to save him!" Yeah, that was Pufnstuf. So that's actually my Pufnstuf crab. And here comes my cat because she wants to be in the video. Go on, Aria. And then I did more studies in mostly colored pencil on this one, and the pink fan kelp. And then I did a magical little iridescent type of a crab here. I wanted to have something that looked a little more scientific. Now these are all done on my own. The first few were done on our Zoom, and then the rest is just you have the month to work on the theme and pretty much go crazy, and that's what I did, really stretching my imagination. And then I decided to come up with a little family of, or a little group of sea urchins that hang out on the wrong side of the reef. And I just had fun coming up with names and little backstories. There's Mort and Charlie, little patched clothes, because I thought, you know, street urchins, sea urchins. And then I've got Sassy, she's smoking her cigarette. Little Hooker, but it's because she actually makes hooks and carries them around with her, and she put out an eye with a hook. Spike, the little guard anemone there, or I mean urchin. Frankie, Lagoon. He dates Sassy when he's not in prison, and he's in his prison orange there. And then I got a few paints from Hydra Color, and I thought, what can I do with this bag? I liked their script, and the color went along with our theme this month. So I thought, well, I'll just make a little pocket, and then why not paint an actual Hydra? So I didn't want to get too detailed. I just basically wanted to just sketch this big Hydra monster, and then I put this little ship here for scale so you can see how big it is. And I did use some of the Hydra color paints, but they're not showing up very well. Then I had this jelly painted piece of paper I got in a stash from Mindy Lacefield that she made, so it matched perfectly. So I thought I'd put that here for journaling. So yeah, and here's one of Tangie's stickers. I love non-Madge folk art supplies. And then here I thought, well, I'm not really into looking at actual magic potions, but I do love aromatherapy. So I had some die cut leaves because I have a ton of stuff in my stash, and I kind of just built my theme around the leaves. And I love these little potion bottles. I think these are one of my favorite things I painted this month. And I came up with maybe some things to look for magical potions from the ocean. But then I did have some relaxing bath salt recipe and a diffuser, which I actually diffused yesterday, and it smelled really good. It's got cedarwood, lemon, and rosemary. I don't know particularly that it smells like the beach, but it did smell good. And then I did a sea fairy, and I got this idea because I have a book on how to draw fantasy creatures, and I saw a sea fairy in there, and of course mine looks nothing like the picture, but it kind of gave me the idea. So this one was just playing. I was sitting in front of the TV. I've been rewatching all of the Lord of the Rings extended edition just because I can't watch the news and everything's making me crazy. So I'm just escaping in my fantasy, magical journaling and watching fantasy movies. You know, who wants reality? I just like fantasy. So I did her with watercolor, and then I pulled out some chalk pastels and decided to just hit it with that too and see what happened. So she can travel in the water and in the air, but she prefers to live in the ocean because of the tail situation. Then yesterday, I thought, what would it be like to do a porthole? And I was going to just do fish and your standard looking through a window. And then I thought, how cool would it be if somebody went down in a submersible and there's actually a little wizard girl down there doing her studies, and she's looking right back at you with her binoculars. So that's what I did. And I don't know if you can really tell, but I put some sequins. I should have, if I really wanted a true shaker card, I would have had to elevate this with some foam, but I didn't want to mess with it. But I did cut this part out with my Cricut. I had some wood grain looking paper, and then I just painted around it to make a bigger porthole. And then I just had some mylar that I cut out. And anyway, I think she turned out really cute. And then I downloaded the Quibbler. I looked online for some free files. I did buy a file from a guy, but it's kind of fun, just like this fake whole thing. Remember the Quibbler that Luna Lovegood and her father published? And then I used one of Tangie's graphics and cut her out and put her here on the page. Just looked like a magical type of a newspaper. And then today I finished. I put this brooms to go because, once again, I don't know why I have such a weird sense of humor, but I thought, well, we'll just do a little urban sketching in Diagon Alley today. And you can park your brooms outside here and go in and look for new and used brooms at Brooms to Go. And then just another little Quibbler printout. I'll probably hang it up here just so that back page isn't blank. Anyway, that is it. I hope you would join. If you want, I'll put the links down below, and feel free to ask me any questions. Thanks.